Good morning students and welcome to today's IP class. We are with the chapter called Communication and Network Concepts, and today we are going to do some exercise questions. Exercise questions based on few topics which we covered in the last few classes. This question will be based on the networking, which type of network, which type of topologies. Then it will be based on the types of different transmission media what we discussed, the types of cables what we discussed. Then it will be based on the different types of network devices what we discussed. So let's go with the question. Question is, ABC Corporation wants to set up a network which has 6 buildings A, B, C, D, E, and suppose 5 buildings are there. There are 5 buildings A, B, C, D, E as shown below. Suppose there is a company which wants to set up a network with the 5 buildings A, B, C, D, E as shown below. Now how the setup is shown? These are the 5 buildings. This number A building has 55 number of computers. B has 185 number of computers. C has 60 number of computer. D has 55 number of computer. And E has 70 number of computers in that particular building. Now distance also is given in between the 2 buildings. From A to B the distance is 50 meter. From B to C the distance is 30 meter. From C to D distance is 30 again. From D to E distance is 40. From C to E distance is 35. And again from B to E distance is 65. From B to D distance is 45. And from A to D distance is 120. This is how a question will come, and one question like this will definitely going to come in your board exams. Now, what type of question comes from this setup? The number 1 is suggest the possible layout. Means this is just an idea given to you that these are the 5 buildings. Every building consists of this many number of computers. Distance between each and every building is this. Now you suggest what type of layout, how you set up the buildings, which building will come where and which building will be connected to which building, so that ultimately the networking will be set up. But the one thing you need to remember is, more the cables, costing will be more. So you have to keep that in mind. So how to design that? Suppose there is building A. Let's start with number 1. This is building A. Next is building B. So A to B we have only this way to connect. So we have to connect in this way only with 50 meter. Now B to C, this is only the one way to connect. There is no other way to connect B to C. So B to C also will go in this way. So this is 30 meter. Okay. Now D and E are there. This is building D and this is building E. We have to think of, because the distance between each and every building is given, that through which way we connect so that all total the number of meters will come less. Because if the number of meter is more, the costing of the cable will be more. This is 50, this is 30. If we connect C to E, then this will be 35. Then if we connect C to D, this will be 30. But if you connect C to D, then E will not be connected to D directly. So we have, if we go with this one, then this is 40. So somehow all the buildings are connected to each other. A to B, B to C, C to E, and E to D. Let's total it, how much it will cost. 50, 30, 35, and 45. 5, 5, 10, carry 1. 5 and 3, 8, 8, 3, 11, 11 and 5, 15. So this is 150. 5, 6, 10. Okay, clear? $160. So this is my total cabling meter. 160. Here I get 160 meter. Now if you can give me another one layout where the costing will be less, then that will be the most suitable one. Suppose A and B I have to connect in this way only. B and C I have to connect in this way only. Now B and E also can be connected, but B and E if will connect, then this will become 65, and B and D if you connect, then this will become 45. Okay, and this way also we can connect. But if we take this, then for this type of layout where we are not going to consider this one and this one, so it will be 50, 30, 65 and 45. Now if we connect this, then it will be 10, 1, 6, 12, 16, 17, 18, 19. This will go to 190 meters. So here 30 meter more. 30 meter more means the costing will be more. So we will not go for this setup. So this will cancel it. So in this way we have to think and we have to decide the possible layout. Which way you will set up, in which way you will connect, so that ultimately this total should be less. More this number will be, more this value will be your more length of cable required. More length of cable required means the costing will be more. So done with question number 1, students. Let's move on to question number 2. What is question number 2? Where would you suggest the placement of the server? Now where you suggest the placement of the server? Just have a look at the number of computers each building consists of. A consists of 55, B consists of 185, A consists of 55 number of computers, B consists of 185 number of computers, C consists of 60 number of computers, D consists of 55 number of computers, and E consists of 70 number of computers. So always remember, for this type of questions, whenever it comes that which building the server should be there, which out of this 5 building where you can place the server, always think of that it will be the most suitable place where the number of computers is the maximum. So with this given numbers, we can easily find out that the building B has the maximum number of computers, that is 185. So building B will be the most suitable one, the most suitable place where we can place the server. So for the second question, the answer is building B, because building B has maximum number of computers. Now let's move on to number 3 question. What is question number 3? Question number 3 given as, suggest the cable type to be used. What cable type you are going to use? What are the different cables we discussed? We discussed about twisted pair cable, we discussed about coaxial cable, then fiber optic cable, then we discussed about unguided media, that is called microwave, radio wave and all that. Now here they are talking about cables, so we will not go with the unguided media, we will go with the guided media, the cables. So cables are twisted pair, coaxial and fiber optic. Now fiber optic is a very high costly cable, so we will not go with the normal layouts. Twisted pair cable has a very, we can say they have a less control on the traffic control, the noise is there much. And coaxial cable, out of these 3, now coaxial cable we have in our hand, and just because the distance is 160 and coaxial cable can easily control the traffic up to 500 meters of the layout. So suggest the cable layout to be used. Here the most suitable answer will be coaxial cable. Why? The reason, if they ask for the reason, you can give that coaxial cable can easily control the traffic up to 500 meters, and the coverage is yours only 160 meter. So coaxial cable will be the most suitable one for question number 3. Now let's go to question number 4. Company wants to minimize the network traffic. So which device out of hub, repeater and bridge you want to suggest and why? Let's go to the question again. They want to minimize the network traffic. Remember, they have given a clue here. They want to minimize the network traffic. So out of hub, repeater and bridge, which one you will suggest? What is the function of hub, students? They will only connect the networks, different type of networks they get connected. Repeaters is when the distance between the two end is more, then we'll place a repeater in between so that the signal should not get dropped in between. What is the function of bridge? Bridge always filters the data, check the data, and then he transmits it to the other end. He decides whether this packet has to go to the other side destination or not. He filters, he checks, and then he passes the packet. So they want to minimize the network traffic. How the network traffic will get minimized? When the data flow should be get controlled, and out of hub, repeater and bridge, which control the data traffic? Bridge, obviously. So here for the number 1 answer, the answer is bridge. And why bridge? Because what is the reason? Because they ask the reason here also. Why? Why reason you will answer as because bridge helps in controlling the network traffic by filtering the data packets. Bridge notes already I have given to you. That particular line, if you write from the bridge, the answer will be get completed. So clear with all the 4 questions. The number 1 is suggest the cable layout. How you have to answer? You have to find out the distance between each and every building. Think of that which way I should get connect all the buildings so that the out of the totaling the number should be less. If this number is more, means the length of the cable is more. If the length of the cable is more, ultimately the costing will be more. Next question is where you place this server. Server where I have to place? Go with the number of computers in each and every building. Which building has the maximum number of computers? Place the server there. Number 3 is suggest the cable type use. Always look at the number. If this is less than 500, you can directly answer coaxial cable out of fiber and twisted and coaxial, because it can easily control the network traffic up to 500 meters. The last one is they want to minimize the network traffic. So out of hub, repeater and bridge, which one is the most suitable one? Go with the function of hub, repeater and bridge. You can easily find out that to minimize the network traffic, bridge is the most suitable network device, because repeater is used to not to get the signal breakdown if the distance between the two buildings is more, and hub is used to connect to different networks to each other. Thus, workstations to be get connected, we use hub. So out of these 3, bridge is the most suitable one to minimize the network traffic. So these kind of questions will definitely going to come in your board exam, students. Just go through it, and like this, I am going to give you 2-3 assessment questions. Please try to do that and answer me as soon as possible. And if you have any difficulty regarding this question, any one of the point, please feel free to ask me. Thank you everyone.